me if I would talk about my coming out of being a lesbian, and I thought, no, I don't think so. And yeah, well, okay, yeah, I guess I will. What I need to say too, that along with me coming out, I need to say that I'm also a recovering alcoholic, because it all ties in together. It's all one big deal. Growing up, I would say I grew up in a bigoted family. And what I got was, oh, them damn queers. But you know, that type of things. And I found myself sitting in a bar downtown. It was drinking, and across the street was a gay bar, and I heard myself say, "Oh, gays are okay. Just leave. They needed to leave me the hell alone." That's where I was before I came out. I was very, very confused growing up. Very confused. There's some things that I wrote down here that when I tried to, because I was looking back. I came out 35 years ago. So it's a little hard to remember 35 years ago what I felt like, but I know that when I was in grade school, I never felt like I really belonged. Something was quite off. But then I found myself having a crush at that time on a girl in school. But the way I was raised, that's not right. That's not right. I was raised as a Catholic. That's not right. You can't do that. So I just shove that stuff right down and swallow all that down inside. And this is prior to me drinking. And then I would go into high school, and I started drinking when I was, I don't know, I had the obsession at 13. But anyway, I started drinking when I was 16. But I was in high school, and I got a crush on one of the teachers. She was cute. But what I was told growing up, leave the queers alone. Queers are bad people. They're rotten. They're broke. That's unnatural. Blah blah blah. So I kept thinking, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't think this way. I shouldn't feel this way. So I'd shove it down inside again. Shove it down inside. And then I met a friend, and I think looking back, she was one of the first, and I hadn't come out. She was one of the first women that I really did love, and I had fallen in love with her, but I didn't know it. I was so confused. I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. My mother never talked to me about anything, not let alone talking about feelings of sexuality and that stuff. The first time I heard my mom say anything about even masturbation, I was like 24 years old. So we just didn't talk, and I had nobody to talk to. I have brothers, but I didn't have any women in the neighborhood, no girls in the neighborhood. I was the only girl in the neighborhood. And I learned behavior that I didn't really dive right in, and I remember when her name was Bev, and she was one of the Air Force kids out there, and I think it was about 1966, I think, when I first met her. And we would party together, and, you know, we would sleep in the same bed together when we'd get, you know, come over. But I didn't do anything. But I just felt so wrong. I just felt wrong. I felt uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in my own skin, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I was just so fucking confused. Let's put it out there. I just was a mess. Anyway, I think she was the very first person that I ever really loved. And I had her as a friend for about 30 years, and then she died pretty young, actually. But I remember she got pregnant, she'd go away, and this is how I figured that I really loved her. I'd get drunk and I'd call her and I'd talk to her about all these things. I mean, long distance. Oh my God, they're doing this to me, Bev, and blah, blah, blah. And I never really talked to her about my sexuality. I just was the only person that I knew that I could talk to. I got sober in 1975. And I was running around with this one gal. And her name was Barb. and we were just running around, you know, doing things and so on and so forth. And she was one of those really bad winters, and I said, well, why don't you just stay here, and you don't have to drive home in it. Well, I had a pull-out couch. I remember I had a pull-out couch, and she was on the couch, and I was going to go back in the bedroom, and I got cleaned up, and I come out, and I walked out, and she was sitting up in the, with nothing on, from the top down. I thought, whoa, whoa. And it's like it just stopped me right there dead in the tracks. I can't tell you what I did after that, and I was sober. I mean, now I had been sober. This was like 1978. I'd been sober for like 2.5 years. And I thought, wow, what do I do? And it just shocked me. I mean, just really, wow, it just shocked me. It brought up a lot of, I can't remember what that night, but I know that it brought up a lot of fears, lots and lots of shame, and lots of guilt. At that time, I had a lady that was helping me with my sobriety, and I went over and I knocked on her door. And she said, what's up? I said, Mary, I think I'm a lesbian. Gosh. And I just cried, and I cried, and I cried. And she was, I don't think anybody in here met her, but she was from Ireland by the way of New York. And the things that she said to me was, oh, these assholes in Kansas, they don't know what the hell they're talking about anyway. They just need to go down the street down in New York City, and everybody's holding hands and on and on and on. And I cried. I said, I'm broke. I said, I'm broke. I'm not well. I am broke. Something is wrong with me. And she said, there's nothing wrong with you. But that's when I first really, and I don't know how long I was over at her house. I don't know. She cried, and we prayed, and we cried, and she ranted, and I ranted, and I think if it wouldn't have been for her, I don't think I would have made it through. She's got a special place in my heart. You know, because she was there. She didn't judge me. She didn't judge me. She loved me for who I was. And that's the first time I think that was my first part of getting in touch, really, with my sexuality. And I had gone to treatment a couple times from alcoholism, and they would kind of touch on, you ever thought about your sex? Oh, no, I'm not gay, no, that's wrong, can't be. Oh my God, I tell you, I was just really screwed up. And then I went back in therapy again, and then we're touching on, you know, talk about sexuality. No, I'm not, no, I can't be gay, no. It's wrong, it's all wrong because of what I was taught. What I was taught from the Catholic Church, you know, it's wrong. To this day, even though I am a Catholic, I don't attend church. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that they're putting out. Then I kind of got to go out myself. But anyway, I was in a situation where I married this man, and that's part of the reason I don't, this ties in with the church too. Part of the reason why I don't go to church is because I was trying to do the right thing. And the priest looked at me and he said, you know you're living together as a brother and a sister, don't you? What? And that broke up for me for the church. I didn't go. But I was just, it was hard. It was hard from the family that I came from. I went into therapy. I didn't tell my parents for a long time. And the way I came out to my parents was suggested that maybe I write them a letter. And I thought, that's the chicken way of doing it. She said, no. Give them a chance to think about it before they get any answers back, before you get an answer back. So that's what I did. I wrote them a letter. And when I did it, it was the first time I think in my life that I felt some freedom, but I felt no expectations, because that's who I was. the answers I got back from my mother, well, we know you're not the only one in the family like that. Which is true, I have 2 cousins that are gay. My 2 first cousins are gay, but we never talked to each other about it, we just knew. And from my dad, well, I guess it's okay if you don't flaunt it. What the hell does that mean? Flaunt it. I never did understand that. My brothers never said too much to me. I did come out to each one of them individually. And I was scared to do that. It's good to come out. I remember my youngest, I went over and I was crying. He said, why are you crying? I said, because fear. Fear of rejection, not being accepted. They knew who I was, growing up. And I was the tomboy. My mother tried to make me a little girly girl. I have never been a girly girl. I don't even talk about makeup. I don't makeup. I don't do any of that. I keep myself clean. That stuff. I wear like jeans. And I thought today that, and I've learned because of the conference and Ask, I dressed a little better than I usually do out of respect for being asked to be a speaker here. But it was hard. It was just, I was so confused. I didn't know what I was supposed to feel. I didn't know. I felt bad. I was never interested in boys, per se. Everybody was getting all Google about this, the Beatles, and all the women of the Beatles. Oh, the Beatles are coming out. I don't care. So what? Elvis Presley. So what? I remember one time also, my dad and all of them used to go down and they used to seine the creek before they got made it illegal. But it was illegal back then too. But anyway. And I wanted to go with them. I was just a young girl. I wanted to go with them. And Mom said, you can't go with them. And I said, why? She said, because they go down to their underwear. I thought, well, so? And it's things like that that stopped me. I thought, I'm not interested in that. I didn't really care. I wanted to be down there with the seining, down on the creek and doing stuff like that. I've had, I went into the psych ward in 1983. I got sober in 75. I stayed sober in 75. In 1978 is when I came out. It's about 2.5 years sober. I never drank in a gay bar. No, leave them alone. Leave them the hell alone. Get the away from me. And then I went into the psych ward and started dealing with some things, real deep emotions and stuff that I had. And there again, I got in touch with that I am gay, that I am a lesbian. Sometimes sometimes I'm okay with it. Sometimes I'm not 100% okay. I'm doing this today because I have nothing to lose. I'm retired. I have no job. I don't have to worry about them firing me. Probably would not have done it if I was still working. Now that's because we're in Kansas. Well, if you look at the United States, everything is all screwed up. Everything is messed up all over the world, but I probably wouldn't have done this if I was working. The other thing is that, I think this is pretty cool. It's not with me, but it's about my family. We had a wedding not too long ago, October the 12th. And my nephew come up to me and everybody, and he said, I want you to meet my fiancé, Christopher. I said, all right. And we never talked about it. We just, and I thought that was so cool. In front of everybody. This is my Christopher. So we kind of raised gay people in our family. A lot of gay people in our family. One yet, I don't know, but it was just very, very hard. I didn't come out at work. And I'd hear derogatory things like, I don't know if I could work with a gay person. I don't know if I could really do that. And I was sitting right beside the person and working with her. I didn't have enough courage to say, hey, when you're talking about me, I didn't have that courage to do that. But then from now, it's just been a growing process. I still learn some things about myself. Like I said, I don't have that much to lose. The family all knows it. I do have a son that was married and then divorced. I have a son with grandkids that I don't get to see. And I think because his wife, what I've been told is that his wife has never liked me because I am gay, because I am a lesbian. Because I don't remember doing anything to her, you know, so therefore I don't get to see the grandkids. But he's married to her, I'm not. I've had relationships off and on. I haven't been with anybody since 1990, help me, 1995, something like that ain't right, somewhere in there. And I haven't been in a relationship since. Sometimes I think I'm too fucking old to even try. You know, I don't want to do that anymore, it's too hard. But I'm pretty comfortable with myself most of the time. I can stay by myself and read and do things, and then I'm okay. And I get lonely sometimes. But then I hear people, you know, I go lonely sometimes, and then I go around and I hear people say, oh, they're having trouble with their relationship. This person is nuts and driving me crazy, blah, 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 blah. And I think, okay, I'll do lonely one more day. I know that I'm self-centered enough that I probably, I don't know. It's just I'll do lonely one more day, you know. So I'm coming out a little bit more off and on. I mean, more than I have. Since I met Stephanie, I've been coming out more. I was at the city council. Stood up at the city council and stood up and talked. You know, I've been coming out on Facebook. Well, of course, you don't see anybody on Facebook. It's like, well, is that really them, or you know? But I don't hide. I don't hide, but I don't come out either. I mean, I'm not blatant. I'm not flaunting it, I guess. I don't flaunt, and I'm not sure what the hell that meant. I don't really know. I don't really know. And you know, the odd thing is, the other thing is, my older brother was very bigoted. And it's his son that came out in October. You know, so we're here, we're there, we're everywhere, and I've gone through. I have a very good friend here, Amy, that's helped me a lot. Stephanie has helped me. I've gone into therapy and they've helped me tremendously. People haven't told me to go away. They tell me that I'm okay, and sometimes I think, oh, maybe I am okay. Maybe I'm okay. But I'm not, I'm just trying to be who I am. You know, I'm 66 years old, it's about fucking time. But Amy's got a big part of my heart. Stephanie's part of my heart, and then also that Mary. I call Mary. She moved to Ireland, but I call her about once every 6 months. Talk to her. And, I don't know. That's about it. I mean, there's a lot of things in between there, but that's kind of the basics. What I wrote down, and I knew something was different growing up. I knew something was different. And I covered a lot of that up with my drinking. Of course, that's two separate things, but I covered a lot of it with my drinking. Now that I don't drink, here I am. This is it. What you see is kind of what you get. But we're coming around. The world's coming around slowly, I think. Slowly. You know, we're standing up, and I'm trying to just be the best. I believe in a higher power. I believe in a God. I'm just trying not to hurt people. I think that's what my God wants me to do, not to hurt people. You know, try to treat you the way I would like to be treated.